New facial. So we'll be looking at another post on the Korean Eternity section about faces in Mabinogi and how they're going to be reworked in Unreal Engine. So Eternity supports 3-dimensional facial expressions. In this post, I'd like to take time to explain the new facial appearance of Eternity. So currently in Mabinogi, all eyes and mouths are implemented by rendering textures, 2D pictures, onto the face mesh 3D model. To put it simply, blinking eyes, beauty coupons, smiling faces, and crying faces are all implemented by replacing the textures that are rendered at the time. Okay, so this is showing how like the eyes and the face work. So you can see like the examples here and here, and this is like how blinking works. But it's already been 20 years since Militians have lived in Erin. In the meantime, the world has developed rapidly and the appearances of characters in games have become more standardized day by day. These days, games implement beautiful appearances with mesh molding rather than textures. Since textures are only 2D images, it is difficult to express 3-dimensionality or natural movements. Despite the painstaking efforts and research into extreme expressions possible with textures, there are fundamental limits to the range of expressions possible with textures. However, the data accumulated over decades of service and technical limitations of the old engine were holding us back, and it was difficult to proceed while modifying the structure of the game that was already in the midst of a fierce live service. But we are working on replacing it with Unreal Engine. If that's the case, wouldn't Mabinogi also be able to have characters with beautiful appearances like in modern games? Since we're making a new one anyway. But there are some things to consider first. So first, there is a cartoon-like emotional expression unique to Mabinogi that is only possible with textures. This kind of expression is hard to make with mesh, and even if you do, it doesn't have the unique feel of a texture. I mentioned earlier that it's hard to bring out a sense of 3-dimensionality with texture, but in this case it's more natural expression to remove the sense of 3-dimensionality. If you look closely at the first expression in particular, the mouth is sticking out of the face, which you can see here, which is a very ambiguous part to make with mesh. Also, these cartoonish expressions are a unique sensibility of Mabinogi. And second, if you decide to express all the existing texture eyes with meshes, you can't help but think about the fate of the hundreds of existing texture eyes. Since it's a game that's been in service for a long time, there are cases where the resolution of old resources is low, causing a jagged staircase phenomenon in the eyebrows. Then there may be an option to upscale old texture resources, in which case there may be a slight change in impression. From the developer's point of view, the intention was to provide a clearer appearance by cleaning up with the lines and increasing the resolution, but the change in impression felt by the Militians was much greater than we expected. Therefore, even simple upscaling is an area that must be approached carefully. After much internal thought and discussion, we decided to remake all texture eyes in mesh form, except for the expression textures that appear briefly. We will do our best to minimize the difference in impression that will occur during this process. Because of the issues mentioned above, we couldn't completely abandon the eyes or mouths expressed with texture. We sought a way to express both. First of all, since the basic eye expression has changed from texture to mesh, the method of simply replacing the stickers to be attached to the mesh as shown above cannot be used. Instead, the mesh itself for the eye area needs to be replaced. To do this, Eternity had to separate the face part into eye, mouth, face, shape sections. So here you can see the three different sections. There's the face, and then there's the eyes, and then there's the mouth. In the future, instead of just replacing the stickers that go on the eyes or mouth area, you'll be replacing the eyes or chin itself. To continue with the following explanation, we first need to know about morphing. It's similar in 3D. It's a smooth connection between mesh in state A to mesh in state B. Morphing allows you to create a variety of expressions from a single eye-mouth mesh. For a completely different shaped eyes, such as Beauty Coupon, you must replace the mesh itself. So how do we express both mesh eyes and texture eyes through this morphing thing? From now on, Eternity's characters are Transformers. The purpose of this unidentified mask is as follows. So when making an expression that can only be expressed with this type of texture, the mask moves forward in front of the eyes through morphing, attaching texture to the advanced mask. When it returns to the default expression after a certain amount of time has passed, back again through morphing behind the eyes. This process allowed us to express both texture and mesh expressions as needed. And you can see how like the texture expression like pushes out and moves, it covers the eyes. So that's how that works. But in the actual game, it's processed in a split second, so you don't notice these processes. But like, this is what's really going on. That's cool. The mouth is processed in the same way as the eyes. So far, we have introduced you to Eternity's new facial system. How do you like it? I'm already excited to walk around in Erin with my new look. I hope you Militians like it too. So yeah, this was a very interesting read about like how faces currently work in Leon Engine and how they're going to work in Unreal Engine. Alright, let's look at another post in the Korean Eternity section. So, Mabinogi H-line skirt production. In this article, I will introduce the process of making a slim skirt, a type of skirt that is not commonly used in games. In the last post, the fact is that the Popo skirt is, that's covered in one of the other Eternity posts. We covered the process of combining key animation, physics, and retargeting to create a flowing skirt and hair. However, in Mabinogi, there are various costumes that are difficult to solve with this method alone. This time in particular, we'll talk about the process of expressing clothing such as the slim skirt that fits the legs perfectly. A short, slim skirt, usually above the knees, is often worn with skinning on the legs. What is skinning? It is a process of applying weights to the surface mesh of a 3D model so that it can move along with the bone that moves along the character. I think the stewardess costume would be the equivalent of the slim skirt example given above. You can see that there are no major problems even if you walk or sit down. So here you can see the stewardess costume. And there's the character like sitting, and there's the character moving, and you can see how like the skirt is moving with the character. So yeah, that looks really good. Among the slim skirts, the slim skirt that goes down to below the knees is not often used in character settings based on this book. An example would be the Eleanor New Look dress. I think the developers put a lot of thought into presenting as many different chairs as possible. It couldn't be helped. I created a skirt pattern using the method used in the Popo skirt is actually post, and then proceeded with skinning it. The skirt's natural form, which is attractive for its fitted feel on the legs, was not preserved, and instead it ended up looking too eerie, which was not what was intended. So here you can see what it looks like. This time I tried skinning the legs like I did for the stewardess costume. And here you can see what it looks like in this example. It kind of looks like the legs are kind of clipping through in the back, maybe? I don't know. And maybe in like in the front, like kind of near the knees. When standing still, the fit is maintained, but when moving, the skin on the knees and thighs is exposed through the clothing. So yeah, I was right. So if you look at it, you can see like the skin coming through on the knees and like the back of their legs. It's like clipping through. That's bad. A sense of form, natural movement. Unable to give up either one, I began to wonder if there was a way to express the advantages of both methods. Is there any way to maintain a fitted shape but prevent skin from poking through the knees and thighs? I installed an additional piece to assist with rotation according to the movement of the leg. Yeah, you don't want clipping through the actual skirt or clothing because that just doesn't look good. However, I was not able to get satisfactory results because the texture between the legs was excessively stretched. Splitting the skirt mesh did not stop the map from growing. So you can see how like it's too stretched out, like right here. To compensate for the excessive stretching of the texture, I set up an additional bone that only follows 70% of the leg movement when the leg moves along a certain axis. But it's not easy. Problems still occur. Like you can see in this, that still looks a little stretched out down here. It doesn't look good. Though it responded to the rotation of the body, it did not respond to the change in length, so the shape of the skirt became even more strange. There were more problems than I can list in the text. We added nodes that respond to changes in the length of the main body and control the length of the auxiliary body, and we did some additional work on some parts and tested them. So you can see like a picture here where like the skin of the knee and part of the leg is like coming through the skirt, and here it's not. In the test environment, it seems to have been somewhat resolved. So this looks a little bit better in this example. It's not perfect, but it's better. How would this be applied in the in-game environment? Here's another example. Yeah, this looks a lot better. Although it's not as perfect as in reality, you can see that the shape of the skirt is maintained and the texture is greatly improved in stretching areas. The part where the skin was poking out also disappeared completely. So yeah, it doesn't look perfect, but it is a massive improvement over the other results. Let's compare the images when skinning was done only on the legs without additional bone settings, and when skinning was done after the additional bone settings. So this is what it looked like before, this is what it looked like after. Before, after. Yeah, you can see that this looks a lot better. Looking at the before and after images, it seems to have improved a lot. Of course, due to the nature of the game, there may still be some imperfect parts. But moving away from expressions like steel hair or steel skirts, we are constantly working to ensure that you, the Militians, can enjoy the show as beautifully as possible. So yeah, I think they're working really hard on this. Alright, let's look at another post in the Korean Eternity section of Mabinogi. So, high heel straps are not even. As you all know, there is a very strange phenomenon in Eren. It is a phenomenon where you are clearly wearing stockings, but when you change your shoes, they change into leggings. So here's the example. However, there are shoes that do not exhibit this strange phenomenon. So it only happens with like certain pairs of shoes, like with the bunny slippers, it's not happening, and then like with these shoes, it is. To explain this, let's take a quick detour and look at body structure of Militians. The body of Militian includes the feet. Because the basic foot shape was made flat, it was impossible to express a pointed toe like when wearing high heels. We have successfully implemented the method of hiding the base foot and attaching the high heels to the body. However, because the basic feet are artificially hidden, development proceeds with two problems. So 1, due to the absence of a basic foot, the shoe itself had to be designed to have a foot designed so that the instep is not visible, and 2, because the ankle connecting the leg and shoe was not smooth, the design of the ankle strap had to be included. Since the base foot was removed, it was impossible to wear high heels on bare feet. But this was solved by adding instep skin to the shoes. So that's how the strange phenomenon mentioned earlier occurred. What it looks like when you wear high heels that reveal the instep. From the development team's perspective, it was a bit awkward for the stockings to disappear when the instep was exposed. But in order to solve this, depending on the type of item, a new system had to be built to allow for separate shader code to be executed. When rendering the instep skin of the shoe, we also needed the ability to reference the foot texture on the outfit. It was impossible to solve these problems in Pleon Engine, which has a lot of legacy code woven into it. However, Eternity's Unreal Engine supports all the features mentioned above. Design constraints 1 and 2 have been removed. The screenshot below is the result of testing the Love Island decoration shoes by making them in the Eternity high heel modeling method. You can see that the stockings and shoes are worn together, but they are still connected at the ankle without any break. So when wearing Love Island decoration shoes with Love Island decoration wear and Street Magician outfit and stockings. So here you can see that the problem isn't happening anymore. The new high heels from Eternity will be more attractive and natural as shown in the example above. So yeah, it's nice they're fixing little outfit glitches like this. Should give a lot more fashion choices when we move to Eternity. Alright, let's look at another post in the Korean Eternity section. So this one's walking into Unreal, Tara's construction. In the early stages of the move, we prioritized concerns like how can we implement the unique sensibility of Mabinogi in Unreal Engine. Just when we thought we could catch our breath after achieving small but meaningful results, we were immediately faced with the mission to rebuild a massive amount of buildings that had been produced over 20 years ago. Really, we got stuck in a swamp of production that seemed to have no end. The workload was overwhelming, but because each building had its own unique theme and identity, we had no choice but to personally create each one with great care. So here we can see some of the buildings in Dumbarton. There were buildings with elaborate patterns all over the city, and the problem was that there was really a lot of them. So modularize it. So that's how the modularization process started. Fortunately, Tara was a city with standardized designs, so it was possible to plan the separation and reorganization of buildings. Thanks to this, we were able to plan an efficient work process, and the background team was able to get one step closer to completing the reconstruction mission. What is modularization? Modularization is a game production method that divides various elements that make up a 3D environment into small reusable units, or modules, and combines these into various configurations to create environments or structures. Each module has a basic structure, and by placing or combining several of them, it is possible to create complex backgrounds. For example, by combining several types of wall sets and columns and stairs to fill in the gaps, you can create several buildings of various sizes. So this shows you like an example of what you can combine and how it can like make a building. So that looks really good. So I tried to generate an example of modularization using AI. It's similar but not exact. So yeah, it looks good, but it's not exactly like it should be for Mabinogi. So first gather buildings with the same theme, then figure out what can be used repeatedly for each building with that theme, and consider width, height, depth, design, features, etc. to plan how to divide them. Then start with a large classification and narrow it down to details. Then reverse assemble them to check if there are any things you missed during the division. It may look like it will be easy when you see the image, but since Mabinogi was not designed to be modular from the beginning, it is actually much more difficult than you might think. It seems complicated. Is there a reason for modularizing it to this extent? The first is efficiency. Since you can combine multiple modules to create various shapes, you can produce a variety of products while reducing repetitive work. You only need to work on one set of modules, and you can create multiple building combinations with it. The second is flexibility in design changes. Modification of one module automatically reflects everywhere that the module is used, so design changes can be applied in batches. In addition, the modular system is advantageous in applying various concept styles. For example, applying different concepts and colors to the same wall module can produce results with different moods. The third one helps with optimization. Many objects affect performance when rendered. Using modular backgrounds reduces redundant data and allows you to load and render some of them as needed, which helps optimize performance. You can improve performance by loading only modules needed in certain areas to minimize memory usage, and dynamically loading modules according to the camera's view. And the fourth is reusability. Modular parts can be reused in completely different environments, allowing content creation while maintaining a consistent identity. The same modular structure of windows, doors, and building walls used in Tara can be applied to other towns in the future. Even if it cannot be used in the towns currently produced due to the concept implementation issues, it can be used as a foundation for new content that will be updated in the future, allowing for smoother world building. So here you can see what like some of the buildings in Tara will look like in Unreal Engine. These are the Tara buildings that have actually been modularized. We are putting a lot of effort into making them efficient while maintaining quality. Can you imagine what the new Tara will look like? We are diligently continuing to accumulate architectural know-how so that we can simultaneously take advantage of the original identity of Mabinogi's background and the new environment called Unreal. In this way, Mabinogi's background is continuously being built and expanded with various attempts and considerations, so we ask for your interest and support. So yeah, this was a really good post. It's nice to see what some of these buildings will look like in Unreal Engine. Alright, let's play Mabinogi today. So, let's see. I'm gonna try and make some gold today. I still have some frost flame threads I need to get turned into crests. But let's start out with homestead work. Just get that out of the way. I don't even know how much pawn I have left. Maybe I should just use pawn to buy the house, because then that'll save homestead stone. Well, actually, I just need building stone for it now. And homestead stone isn't really an issue anymore. How much is building stone? Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, let's get that. Where's it gonna go? Maybe I can flip it like that. Yeah, let's do that. How long is it gonna take? 6 hours, so we'll check on that tomorrow. And let's plant some more stuff. For now, I still have some cabbage seeds. Let's go ahead and use those. How much eggplant? 11? I'm out of that. Plant some tomatoes here. Perfect. And then let's move the pet board a little bit further back. Yeah, right there. Same goes for the cage. And the bed. Yeah, that'll do. It's a little small for a giant, though. I keep forgetting this event even exists. I don't even really... I don't even really remember it. There we go. Are those green XP fruit for, like, pets? Yeah. Let's go ahead and magnet all that together. What, those don't stack automatically? Okay. Well, let's get them out of here, so, there's some homestead missions I could use a horse for, but I need this thing to be at a higher level. What level are you right now, anyway? $36. So yeah, we'll use this fruit. I should get rid of some of these smaller gems too. Can't really feed Irie right now, she's maxed out for the week, but let's work on my lance. Okay, we'll leave her at that level. Alright. Might be a good idea to work on my shuriken anyway, because after the puppetry and fighter arcana, hopefully we'll get like a ninja arcana, so... that'd be kinda nice. Alright, let's go to Dumbarton and get the daily veteran dungeon and the normal daily dungeon as well. And we'll start with that to make some gold. So Rabbi is the veteran dungeon today. So what's the normal daily dungeon? Berry. Okay. And I think it's the last day of this event, so we'll finish out this. And now we have 810 of those coins, so... Meditation potions, speed potions... What does that gesture look like again? I think I used one of those on Lion. Oh yeah, it has that cool effect. Okay. Yeah, I'll pick up a few of those. It'll be cool to make NPCs use that, because I have some like characters that can transform into NPCs. So... let's get 2 of those, I think. It would have been cool to have like appearance scrolls for these as well. Then you could actually use them on strong weapons. I don't really care about the chair. You know, I think I'd rather actually just get 2 more of these gesture cards. So I have more than enough of those. And then I could use the last one to buy a speed potion. Alright, let's go do Rabby Dungeon. So, dual guns. And staff. Let's put this like right over here. Alright, time for the boss. Here, let's get her with the, with that one for sniping. We'll use that, and then... did get me once there. "17 minutes and 37 seconds. Didn't even use Meteor this time. Smoldering Thread, Spirit Gems, Gem. Let's open up these. Alright, so what shadow missions do we have? Lingering Darkness and Rescue the Scout. Those are kind of boring. Maybe I'll try Lingering Darkness at least. Let's try and get a Shadow Mission Pass. We can do that on Elite. Perfect. And we're going to switch to Dark Diviner. Okay, so we're gonna try something a bit different next. I haven't really done Rabbi Phantasm since I got the Arsenal Gunner Arcana, so I'm gonna see how well Arsenal Gunner does in Rabbi Phantasm. So we'll switch Arcana again. I don't have all the links unlocked for Arsenal Gunner yet, but this will be a good test run to see how well it does in a dungeon like this. What do you do? Do you sell stuff? Okay. I don't care about that. I have a ton of speed potions. Let's use those. Wait, is this room supposed to be empty? Or are there any of those purple torches in there? Nope. Okay. I guess that's just an empty room. Weird. Yeah, that one opened the door. Can't go that way yet. That one's still sealed. That one's still sealed. Why are all these side doors sealed? It wasn't the way it was before. Used to be able to go through all these rooms. This dungeon feels a lot easier than it used to be. Where are all those ghost things that are supposed to be in the hallway? Got those guys. Wait, who's in this room back here? It says there's someone in there. An NPC. Oh, a blood-stained rose. What does that do? Yeah, we'll mess with that later. Got him. Let's go this way. Do a little healing real quick. Yeah, this room's done. So far, Arsenal Gunner is doing really well here, but it's been a while since I've entered this dungeon. They may have made it a little bit easier. Doesn't feel as difficult as it used to. Oh, gunner attacks use up some MP, okay. Use this for a second. When that wears off, we'll use a full recovery potion. Alright. So there's one more room down here. They got rid of all those deadly ghosts in the hallway. At least on this first floor. And that. Guess it makes sense some of them drop mana bullets since those fiends use dual guns too. I go back here for a second. Okay, so why are these doors still sealed? I can't target these things? No? Weird. Maybe I have to interact with that bloody rose to get those doors to open or something? I don't know. I'll look it up on the wiki later. But last time I did this dungeon was probably before the new Rise update was like implemented in the US. And I got to the boss room, but I didn't beat the boss. Floor 1 is definitely easier though. It's not just the Arcana I'm using. I can tell that they cut like some stuff out to make this floor feel easier. Okay, so let's use another speed potion. Pull these over here. Okay, now these ghosts are here. I have to defeat all of them within the time limit. Oops. This part might actually be more challenging with Arsenal Gunner because, like, Dark Diviner does have better range. Okay, where's the last one at? There, we got him. Anyone gonna grab that gold? Guess the doll bags don't want to pick it up. Oh, this is one of those cases where I need to make sure both these guys die at around the same time. I remember now. Just like with that dungeon by the lake. Okay, now I want to target the one that has more health. Got him. Yeah, so Arsenal Gunner does pretty good here. Let's see how well it does against the actual boss. Which I'm still not expecting to actually beat, but we'll see. Don't need to see a cutscene. Let's get the fight started. I know she has like some sort of move where she can recover her health, so I'm not sure if I can... I'm not sure if I can injure her faster than she can recover. I forget like how much health she regenerates and when it happens. Might be at around 50% or something. Ooh, ow. I got frozen. Okay, let's use that. Here, let's put these over here so they're easier to get to. Okay, her health is back at 60. That's okay. Wasn't much of a recovery. Yeah, we're damaging her way faster than she can recover, so... Oops, I used that a little too early. Hey, we got her. Nice. That's my first time clearing this dungeon. Smoldering thread, enchant scroll, some gold. Firm blade fragment. What's that? Oh, here it is. That's worth 100,000 gold. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I did have to use a few full recovery potions here or there, and I died like once, but overall it wasn't that difficult. So maybe I'll have to start running this a little bit more. Pretty sure that shattered black metal isn't anything, right? Oh, well, it is worth 30,000, so I guess that's not as much as the other stuff, but it's good. How many more of those passes do I have? 3? Like, let's go ahead and sell some of that stuff for gold. Processing about 4 of these will take 600,000, so I need 1,200,000 in total to process all of them. Alright, well, let's get out of here. This feather will take us to the entrance. Let's go again. Do another run. And really quick, I will be right back, and then we'll do this dungeon run. I think I might use... Maybe I'll use these other 2 passes too. Alright, let's do this dungeon run. Heal up a little bit. first room's easy. This one's not even a challenge, like this is... Like that's the same difficulty as like the first room of a veteran dungeon. Nothing in there is really a challenge. Let's use away the gun, save some bullets. Oh, the giant fireflies. It's nice some of them have a useful knockdown move, they're not all useless. Oh, I didn't realize those counted for points towards the firefly transformation, that's cool. I thought because their names were slightly different with like crimson in front of it, that they wouldn't count. That's cool that they do. Yeah, for the most part, this works really well for Rabby Phantasm, Arsenal Gunner. Okay, let's use this again. And it's only gonna get stronger too, like I still have 5 more links to unlock, and I can max out my spirit weapon, so... Like it's not even... I'm not even using my strongest moves yet. Try one of these to get my MP back up. And we'll use inspiration here too. And then there's also this one over here. Where's that other one at? Oh, she's hiding way over there. Got her. Okay, next floor. Maybe for those ghosts I have to take out, maybe I'll spam Meteor a whole bunch. Oh yeah, I should pick up these mana bullets. Might as well. I could also use a stronger type of mana bullet if I wanted to, but normal mana bullets are working out just fine. Okay, let's get my MP back. and then get the staff ready. Should taking care of a lot of them. Okay, just a few more. There. Yeah, Meteor, I think, helped out a little bit with that. Okay, let's do this. Get the MP back up. I need to target the one with more health right now. Okay, which one is more? That one does. Because they all have to die around the same time. I think I have like 30 seconds to kill the second one after the first one dies. Something like that. And now for the actual boss. Okay, let's use this second purifying wave. No cutscenes. Let's just get right into it. It's nice that she has one move that can knock me out of that. Oops. Well, she didn't use this move last time. But, sure. A little meteor shower. Yeah, it's easy enough to dodge. She's not healing this time. It's kind of weird. Got her. We're gonna need another speedball potion soon. Yeah, we're gonna go in again, because this is paying well, so I'll probably go in 1 to 2 more times. Let's go ahead and use this one next. Oh, and let's pick another Mabinogi playlist. That was a good time to do that. Oh, that one opened the door. I guess that makes it go a little bit faster, but I'm a little disappointed. The more enemies I get to fight, the more gold will drop, so I wouldn't really mind fighting more enemies. I don't think I've seen armored ogres in here before. Nice to know that there's a little bit of mix up with the monsters. I'm not gonna try that, black stained rose. Like, maybe I'll try that next time I do this. Today we're just gonna do a couple of practice runs through here. Come on, get off of there. Go through here next. It's nice that they actually poison me though, because that actually does like a lot of damage. I would like to see that more in veteran dungeons. Because the old advanced dungeons that are too easy now, like they do that. Some of them have enemies that can poison you really bad. Be nice to have that back. Oh, you're hiding over there in that corner. Okay, same situation for this floor as last time. We're gonna get the Gunner's Crest ready, but we're going to switch. And we're gonna start out with some meteors. Fire. Nice. Okay, now we have to take out the other one. Got him. I was a little worried leaving him with 38% health, but it all worked out. And boss time. Insufficient MP, come on. Enough of that crap. Okay, this time she's gonna use the healing move. I guess I have to hit her before my clone there gets to her, but that's okay. We can still injure her faster than she can recover. At least the boss has some challenging moves. I am glad about that. It's not like overly easy. Oh well, that's fine. Who cares if she heals for a little bit? Like 28% isn't gonna do anything. Yeah, it's over. Smoldering thread. Enchant scroll. Actually, with what we have now, I don't think I need to do a final run. We can call that good, I think, because we almost have enough. What's that? Fairy Dragon selection box? I don't remember that. Alright, let's get out of here. Subido, thanks for the raid. So I think I'll do some commerce to get the rest of the gold that I need. So let's switch to Dark Diviner. I think that's a little bit better for commerce than Arsenal Gunner is. Let's pull out the stall bag. I think I need to bring up my merchant rating in Turconail. Oh, and I can get more speed potions from this too. Those will boost the speed of our transport mount. Put those over here. Okay, let's take these to Tara for 50. Oh, that speed potion wore off like just now? Oh, good thing we have more. And those can also stack with commerce speed potions too. Yeah, this 8-bit Mabinogi music was remixed by I think a Korean YouTuber. I have a link to their channel in my credits panel below, if you want to take a look at them. They did a pretty good job remixing these songs. So that's probably not quite enough gold, but now I need like 22k more. Let's do a trade from like Tailton next. Or wait, is my Tailton rating... Can I access all the goods here? I don't even remember. Yeah, I already can. Well, how many of those alchemy crystals do I have? 234? Yeah, I guess that's a good trade. I should probably work on other trading posts, but I'll trade from here. We'll take those to Bangor for 391. Okay, we got a lot of gold from that one, so that's probably enough. Yeah. I think that'll do. So let's switch back to Arsenal Gunner. And head to the Association Room. Time to unlock the 6th link for this. So... Yep, that's gonna cost 1,200,000. So I'll have like 17k left over when I'm done. Oh, I need a few more smoldering thread to finish this out. Okay. I'll just pull that gold out of the bank. Let's just take out like 300k. Alright, now we have enough. So, what's this gonna do? All that stays the same. So the stamina is gonna go up by 50, we're gonna get Arsenal Gunner skill damage plus 5%, detonation field duration plus 10 seconds. Critical damage is going to go up by 1. That looks like that's it. And it also costs 120 AP. So what's next level looking like? Tracer pod damage multiplier goes up by plus 5% at the next level. Arsenal Gunner skill damage goes from plus 5% to plus 10%. Field increases by another 10 seconds. Gunner's crest duration will go up by 60 seconds. That'll be nice. I do kind of wish that Gunner's crest would last like a little bit longer. So yeah, that's going to be pretty helpful, having it last a whole extra minute. And then these things stay the same. Now is that detonation field, is that this one? Yeah, okay. So how long this stays is going to increase. Alright. Well, 4 more links to go. I'll start saving up my gold for like frost flame thread and making those crests. Like that's honestly the expensive part about it. Well, it's not so much the frost flame thread. Those are actually not too bad on the auction house. But it's the price of turning them into ice crests that takes a lot of gold. Because it's like 150k per crest, so it's pretty pricey. It's like 15 times more than the smoldering thread. Get my extra 30 bait. Last time I got like the fishing rod box from her. Where'd that 30 bait go? Wait, then we get like an extra bait tin from her? We're supposed to. Oh, maybe I turned in Glacier Smelt to her. Try talking to him again. Here we go. Wait, so what's the next reward then? The undersea fishing chair. I wonder if that's a new fishing chair or not. Ruby, welcome in. The stream's going okay. Mostly did some dungeon runs and a little bit of commerce. But I think we're going to wrap things up right around here, and I'm gonna get some fishing done. Let's go ahead and stack those bait tins. Anything else I need to finish up? I guess I could throw out some of this crap that's in my inventory real fast. I don't really need all this. Yeah, I stream some single-player games from time to time, depending on what's out there. All right, let's toss all this. DBD. I don't even think I don't know if I've even heard of that one, but and I mostly play Mabinogi and then just a couple single player games. Alright, let's start fishing. So we'll wrap up the Mabby stream right around here, and I will be streaming Contraband Police tomorrow from noon to 3, and then Mabinogi again at 4, like I always do. So that's the streaming plan, and then Mabinogi on Friday. as well.